There's some crappy shit going on in your life right now. And excuse my expression, but sometimes swear words are the best way to get the point across. And you know what I mean, right? There's some bad stuff happening and you're not happy and things aren't going the way you want them to. And then you turn on the TV, or you open up YouTube, or you turn on a podcast, or even if you read the paper now, you come across this article or this book or this guru talking about the law of attraction. And they're trying to tell you that everything that's happening in your life is because you asked for it, because you attracted it, you invited it into your life. And you're thinking, bullshit, right? Because this crappy stuff that's happening in your life, this stuff is wrong. You didn't ask for it. And if you did, you want to change your mind and give it back. You want it gone and over, right? Right. So it's Friday evening here in the beautiful city of, you guessed it, Chicago. The day after Thanksgiving, the day after giving thanks for all the wonderful things in our life. And today I talked earlier about giving thanks to yourself for all that you've gotten through and all that you've gone through and all that you've done. Self-gratitude is gratitude. And you've done all those things. You've eaten the meals and drank the drinks and gotten full and showed love and appreciation. And yet and still here we are the day after Thanksgiving. You're like, things still aren't going right. Right? You've been grateful. You've shown gratitude. You've done all the things. But then some crappy stuff shows up in your life, right? Whether it be with your marriage or with your kids or with your job or with your house or whatever. Something shows up in your life and it's not going right. You discover your spouse isn't the one for you, or they're not loving you the way you want to. You discover that your kid is not willing to kind of become the child or young man or young woman that you thought they were going to be. And you find out that your job is just a job, and that even though you've been pouring yourself into it and doing all these wonderful things, they don't appreciate you because they're about to lay you off as soon as they get a chance to. And you're thinking, law of attraction, what bullshit, because I didn't wake up and do anything intentional or unintentional to attract all this crap into my life, right? All these bad experiences, all these unpleasant moments and all that stuff. I feel you. I hear you. And in some ways I agree with you, because a lot of times people have been talking about law of attraction and saying, oh, you've attracted this into your life, and oh, you invited this into your life, and oh, we get what we give and whatever. And you have a hard time digesting that, like I do, because you look around and you think real hard and you search your heart and you're like, I don't know. Sort of like the way the church does God. Sometimes they tell you about this mean, wrathful God, or this loving, kind God, or the God in the Bible, or the God of the Quran, the God of the Bhagavad Gita, or whatever. And then you read a scripture or two and you're like, that doesn't strike a chord with me. I don't know if I agree with that. I feel you. And because I feel you, and because I felt you, I did some thinking. And so I have a theory I want to throw out there. I'd love to do this on live conversation, but I don't have 1,000 followers yet, because I'm new to this TikTok thing, although I've done other stuff, coaching on other platforms. TikTok is new. And I'd love to have this discussion. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw it out there, and I'm going to invite your comments and your feedback. If you got something nasty to say, keep it to yourself, because I'm not going to respond. But if you got something interesting, you want to have a good dialogue about law of attraction and trying to figure out this whole law of the universe. There are laws out there like gravity. Let's talk about it. So the law of attraction. First of all, this conversation for folks that agree, or at least accept, that there are some laws to this universe, at least to this planet. We talk a lot about the universe and we really don't know anything about the universe. I don't know why we spend so much time talking about the universe, because we don't know anything about what's happening on even the moon, let alone another planet, let alone the universe. But let's accept, at least for this planet Earth, there are some laws that govern it. One of them is gravity, right? I think we can all agree gravity controls the planet Earth. Because if you want to fly, you're going to need some help. As much as you want to, you can't do it without some help, because there's this law of gravity that says what goes up must come down. And then there's certain laws of physics that have been tested and tried and proven, right? And one of them is Newton's third law of motion. You know, So we have to accept that there are those. We have gravity. We have the whole idea of karma, whether you like it in the spiritual sense or not. What you put out comes back. It just does. That's just the way the world works. Um, I talked about it the other day. A body at rest stays at rest. A body in motion stays in motion. We tend to go in the direction in which we already are. Those are some laws. So first, we got to agree there are some laws. Second, we've got to agree that we're not just our bodies, right? So if you're the people that don't believe that life goes on after death, then this conversation probably won't work for you. You don't have to believe in the God of the Bible, but you got to believe in something, right? And accept that whatever is going on inside of this body is a reflection of our spiritual nature, our core, what's on the inside. All right, those are the ground rules. Now let's just talk about it. Law of attraction. So a lot of times they'll say, you've invited this, you've attracted this either because you're thinking about it or you're putting out that kind of vibration or because you're putting out that kind of energy or because, you talk bad about people and folks are going to talk bad about you back or, again, karma, what goes around comes around. You've heard those concepts. But they are challenging to apply and accept when it comes to what seem to be unwanted unpleasantries in life. Let's just take, for example, relationships. So you find somebody that you think is the love of your life. You pour your heart out to them and you give them everything you got. And yet and still, after all of that, the relationship, the marriage, whatever, it just doesn't work. They're mean, they're nasty, they're ungrateful, unkind, all these things to you. You give a lot and they only give a little and you're like, what the F? Did you attract that unhealthy partner into your life because you've been thinking about unhealthy relationships? Because you've been trying to be an unhealthy partner in another relationship and now here's karma rewarding you with what you did to your last boyfriend or girlfriend? I don't know. But if you accept that, one, again, there are some laws of this universe, and two, you're more than just your body. So there's a spiritual being that resides in this body or is connected to this body or something to do with this body. And that is probably you at your core, your soul, your spirit, your pure essence. Then maybe that being invited it, right? This being, this fleshly body, didn't. This mind that's in my head, the brain, didn't, because I haven't been thinking about having an unpleasant relationship. And I've been on lots of them, and I've been great partners to most of the people I've been with. And I'm speaking for myself, and I'm using myself as an example. But my inner being, my core, the thing that transcends time and space, the thing that will exist after I'm gone, the thing that exists before I got in this body that has changed over and over again. What if that thing knows that my destiny or my future holds a relationship where this person that's going to be in my life is going to need someone that really appreciates them. It's going to need someone that really sees them and really values them, really gets them, What if I am meant to be a coach to a bunch of folks that don't have high self-worth or whatever? What if I'm meant to be a leader of people who struggle with their own worthiness for freedom and happiness and joy, whatever those things are? Well, a wise soul, a wise teacher, a wise inner being might say, you know what? You can't just show up with all these troubled people saying, here you go. I'm going to show you happiness. I'm going to show you joy. I'm going to show you freedom. I'm going to take you to this greater destiny. You can't even do it for yourself and say, hey, when I turn 50, I'm going to have this wonderful relationship with this